The Jin dynasty rules, and the air is thick with the dust of war. In the midst of this stands a man named Wang Chongyang, born into wealth. He once dreamt of driving out the invaders. Frustrated by failure, he walked into the Yangnan mountains and dug a grave, like chamber, the tomb of the living dead, and meditated inside for 4 years. When he emerged, he no longer spoke of war. He announced that Confucianism, Buddhism, Daoism, the three teachings spring from one ancestral mind. Fusing Confucian ethics, Buddha's monastic discipline, and Taoist inner alchemy, he created a new school at Quanzhen, a complete perfection. His most radical demand: monks must leave home and no marriage, no meat, celibacy. He believed the old Daoism had become too worldly, its talismans and exorcisms low magic. Only by cutting family ties could one return to the true nature. After Wang's death, his 7 disciples spread the school. Most famous was Qia Chuji. At 74, he trekked from Shandong across deserts and mountains for 2 years to meet Genghis Khan. The Khan asked, "Did you bring the elixir of immortality?" Qia replied honestly, "I only know how to preserve life. There is no pill for eternal life." Then he added the words that changed history: "And to rule the whole world, one must not delight in killing." Genghis Khan was moved, called him immortal, and granted Quanzhen control over all northern Taoist temples. From that improbable meeting of sage and sword, Quanzhen became a quasi-state religion, producing contemplatives and philosophers of breathtaking depths.
The Tomb and the Khan. The rise of Quanzhen pictured northern China in the 12th century. The Jin dynasty rules, and the air is thick with the dust of war. In the midst of this stands a man named Wang Chongyang. Born into wealth, he once dreamed of driving out the invaders. Frustrated by failure, he walked into the Zhongnan mountains and dug a grave, like chamber, the tomb of the living dead, and meditated inside for 4 years. When he emerged, he no longer spoke of war. He announced Confucianism, Buddhism, Daoism. The three teachings spring from one ancestral wind. Fusing Confucian ethics, Buddhist monastic discipline, and Taoist inner alchemy, he created a new school, Quanzhen, complete perfection. His most radical demand: monks must leave home, no marriage, no meat, celibacy. He believed the old Taoism had become too worldly, its talismans and exorcisms low magic. Only by cutting family ties could one return to the true nature. After Wang's death, his 7 disciples spread a school. Most famous was Qia Chuji. At 74, he trekked from Shandong across deserts and mountains for 2 years to meet Genghis Khan. The Khan asked, "Did you bring the elixir of immortality?" Chu replied honestly, "I only know how to preserve life. There is no pill for eternal life." Then he added the words that changed history: "To rule the whole world, one must not delight in killing." Genghis Khan was moved, called him immortal, and granted Quanzhen control over all northern Taoist temples. From that improbable meeting of sage and sword, Quanzhen became a quasi-state religion, producing contemplatives and philosophers of breathtaking depth.
Now we must travel further back, into the common soil of China, to find the other melodious roots. Renji traces its lineage to Ren Daoling in the Eastern Han Dynasty. Receiving a revelation from the deified Ozi himself, he founded the Way of the 5 Pecks of Rice, a spiritual current that had never been interrupted. By the Yuan Dynasty, celestial masters from Ren's bloodline had succeeded one another for over 30 generations, one of history's longest spiritual dynasties. A Renji priestess image is the one most people picture: a ritual robe, 9-red cap, jade tablet in hand, feet tracing star patterns on the altar. He draws talismans, chants for rain, guides the dead as intimate with ordinary life cycles as the midwife or the coffee maker. But the crucial difference is he does not renounce family. He marries, raises children, eats meat, fasting only before rituals, and lives as a villager among villagers. Hence the folk name of fire-dwelling Taoists a living amid kitchen smoke. The Tao simmering in the family pot as much as flashing in altar fire. In the late Yuan, the emperor placed all southern talismanic schools under the celestial master, naming the unity Renji Orthodox unity. The map was drawn a Quanzhen in the north, monastic stronghold, Renji in the south, tapestry of family and ritual. The two cousins could not simply nod politely. A Quanzhen monk might say,
"They chase ghosts for money, drifted from the Tao."
a Renji priest, tea in hand among laughing grandchildren, might reply,
Quanzhen stole Buddha's precepts. Have they forgotten Master Zhang?
Yet behind the kneeling, a deeper recognition simmered. Neither could replace the other. One is the elite path of self-cultivation, of finding the inner golden elixir in silence. The other, the popular path of saving others, a bridge between living and dead, to grasp their souls, see their most dramatic moments. For Quanzhen, it is frozen in the story of Sun Bu, Wang Chongyang, to awaken this wealthy, intelligent woman, painted a skull next to a poem.
After death you are only a pile of bones. Why rush so frantically in life?
The frailty of everything worldly crashed over her. She left home that very day, cutting all ties, and became the only woman among the seven perfected the uncompromising blade of renunciation that is Quanzhen's pulse. For Renji, the electrifying moment is the ordination on Dragon Tiger Mountain. Disciples from across the world climb to receive a register from the celestial master. As on hand, a divine identity card listing the celestial generals now under their command. Without it, the most sacred rituals are impossible. A grinning Renji priest once joked,
Quanzhen friends brew the golden elixir inside themselves. Ye DIY immortality. We cultivate divine apps. We ask the gods for help.
The joke captures a genuine divergence in inner self-sufficiency versus liturgical intercession. Both roads, paved with sincerity, are equally wide. Picture northern China in the 12th century. While dust thick in the air, a man named Wang Chongyang, born wealthy, once dreamt of driving out the invaders. When every effort failed, he walked into the Rangnan Mountains and dug a grave, like chamber, the tomb of the living dead, and meditated inside for 4 years. When he emerged, he no longer spoke of war. He announced that Confucianism, Buddhism, Daoism, the three teachings spring from one ancestral mind. Fusing Confucian ethics, Buddha's monastic discipline, and Taoist inner alchemy, he created a radical new school at Quanzhen in complete perfection. His demand was absolute. Monks must leave home in no marriage, no meat, celibacy. The old Daoism, he believed, had grown worldly, its talismans mere low magic. Only by cutting every family tie could one return to the true nature. After his death, his 7 disciples carried the flame. Most famous was Chuji. At 74, he trekked from Shandong across deserts and mountains for 2 years to meet Genghis Khan. The Khan's first question is, did you bring the elixir of immortality? He answered simply, I only know how to preserve life, there is no pill for eternal life. Then, with a courage that would reshape history, he added, to rule the whole world, one must not delight in killing. The Khan, conqueror of nations, was moved. He called Kia immortal and placed all northern temples under Quanzhen's care. From that meeting of sage and sword, Quanzhen rose as a spiritual force, producing contemplatives and philosophers of breathtaking depths.